This hack will save you 5 minutes on the SAT. If 8x minus 8yz plus 2 equals 74, what's the value of x minus yz? Okay, so basically instead of solving for each of these variables, which is kind of impossible in this equation,
I agree with
what
that.
we can do is just try to isolate this. So what we can do first is get rid of the 2 by subtracting it from both sides. And that'll give us 8x minus 8yz equals to 74 minus 2, which is 72. And then we can see that 8 is a common factor among these two terms. So what we can do is factor out the 8. And that will then give us 8 times x minus y times z equals to 72. And so then we can see that we have x minus yz here and xy minus yz here. So we just have to get rid of the 8. And we can do that by dividing both sides by 8, which gives us x minus yz equals to 72 divided by 8, which is 9. So that would mean that x minus yz is equal to 9. So if we look at our choices, our answer is C.
Alright, so I agree with everything that she said in that video. Great job to that creator. However, it's rarely going to be that clean for you. That's why it's so important to understand the underlying concepts rather than just memorizing shortcuts, because it can show up in much more difficult ways. Let me show you.
So anytime you have something that's solving for an expression, you most likely have to factor. So the easiest way to do this problem is to figure out where can we isolate this just from what we see. So we know that this side right here, we can easily factor out that 576. So that's going to be 576 times x minus yz. So we want to factor again some more. So all we got to do is first take out that 64, and that's going to give you x squared minus 2 times x times y times z plus y squared z squared. You can see that this is a very factorable expression. What we can do is we can just factor this out as x minus y times z squared, because that is the form of a factorable expression. So we have now that times 64 is equal to 576 times x minus yz. Now we can very easily solve for x minus yz, because if we had just divide both sides, that gets rid of the squared right here. So that gives you 64 times x minus yz is equal to 576. And then when you divide each side by 64, you're going to get x minus yz is equal to 9, which is again the same exact answer as we got earlier. But you see now, this was not as obvious as it was before. That's why it is so important to understand the underlying concept, because if you just memorize that pattern or that trick that was in the video, you wouldn't be able to solve this problem. If your high achieving teen is struggling with SAT prep and you want to know why Khan Academy isn't working for them, I break down exactly what parents need to know in one of my YouTube videos. Just comment the word Khan and I'll send you the truth about Khan Academy that could save you months of wasted effort.